Computer. Hi, and welcome to today's Hypothesis tutorial. I'm your host, Alex Hill, at the University of Columbia. Today, we will be... I can't do it.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm ruining it by laughing. Okay, I couldn't hold back. Sorry.
It was not my missed calling, broadcasting. It definitely wasn't. Yeah, thank you, Laura. Anyway, so I put a link in the chat, and I'll spell it out for the people watching the recording. Hypothes.is, or hypotheses, but like with a dot right before the I and the S at the end, / sign up to get an account if you don't have an account with Hypothesis. Once you have an account with Hypothesis, then actually annotating pages with Hypothesis is essentially quite very easy. And today we're going to be talking about how to do just that, but you need that account. So here we have already several folks with us joining in the workshop, and I'm just waiting for their cue to let me know that we are indeed already signed up, as far at least those of us here today. Are we? Okay, cool. And for some reason, I have Laurent, your like profile is selected as like, I think it's actually, you're the one showing up on the recording, and I don't know why. Let me see if I can figure it out.
Maybe pin your own image.
Pin my own one? Yeah, I guess so. Hold on. Spotlight. Yes. Okay. Okay. So that should work better. All right. So, okay. Sorry, since we are all signed up, let us start using Hypothesis right away. I'm going to share my screen on the translation that we are already annotating. So I'm going to share my screen here. Now, what you're looking at is our canonized translation of the Cahiers d'un Retour au Pays Natal by M.S. Serre, based on an edition by Cora Verón. And it is this translation that we're annotating this week for our collective notebook, collective annotation event using Hypotheses. So really quick, let me put the link to the translation on the chat. Let me put the link to the chat here, if I can find the, I have to stop sharing to share the link. Salut, Cora. And Cora Veron, who actually did the edition on which this translation is based, just joined us on the workshop. Here, let me put the link to the translation here in the bottom of the chat. Once you click on that, notice that this link is actually a combination of the link for the translation with this thing called via.hypothesis. Now, this is actually one of the methods by which you can actually create this annotation layer on any page on the internet. Just add that link to that page on the internet to this kind of, you can see it there on the link, https /via.hypothesis.is. Just add any link to after that, and you will get automatically a link to something you can annotate with Hypothesis. So let me go back to my translation document here. The hypothesis layer is literally that. It is a layer that exists on top of any page on the web that you're annotating. And you can access it here on the right side by clicking this little arrow here. This is the layer. So as you can see, without this page exists without Hypothesis, and it won't have these little 3 icons here on the side. But once you have Hypothesis enabled, then you have this little drawer that opens up. And this is your Hypothesis environment. Now, for those of you who have not signed in, you will probably see here on the top right, a little thing that says login. So if you created an account, remember your password, I want you to log in there right away. Once you log in, then you will see more or less the same screen that I'm seeing. So I'll just wait 1 minute for everybody to log in. I know, Cora, you signed in later, so if you created an account already, though, this will be easy. If not, okay. Okay, let me know, just raise those thumbs when you are, let me stop sharing so I can see your thumbs. once you are already signed in. Perfect. Okay, cool. So let's proceed. Let's go back to our translation. So, okay, so first things first, how to annotate. It couldn't be easier. Once you're signed in and this annotation layer is enabled, all you have to do is highlight a text. And once you highlight the text, you will get a little pop-up window that gives you two choices to either just highlight the text without an annotation or to annotate it. Now, it's good to know for you to know that you can just highlight texts in the future that are important to you without even annotating them. But for our exercise, what we're interested in is all of us coming together and annotating this text. So I'm just gonna hit annotate here. And I'm gonna leave a sort of fake note. I don't think it's worth bothering anybody with it, but I'll just leave just as to use it an example. Once you hit annotate, this window opens up. Notice it's like a normal kind of like comment box that you would see in something like Facebook or YouTube or any one of these things. It has, you know, like your average rich text little things on the top, like to make things bold, italic, quotation marks, add a link or an image, etc. Right? This is like very common from WordPress sites, from comment threads on WordPress, YouTube, etc. In any case, I'm going to leave here a note that says, I debated whether using raison d'etre since it's commonly used in English anyway. Right? I'll delete it later. But that was actually something that when I think I was the one who translated that line, and I think that was something I was like, but I think people know what raison d'etre is. There was one word in French that I kept in here in the whole that we kept in here called entrechat, which is the ballet jump where you like move your legs really fast and like and that's because it's a ballet term, and ballet terms are kept in there, supposed to be kept in the original French. In any case, okay, I'm deviating. The goal here is to learn how to use hypotheses. Now you should be able all to see my note. It should automatically sync. Are you seeing my note in your own computer, not in my screen share, but in your own link?
You have to refresh. It's not dynamic, so it's not.
Oh, you have to refresh? I didn't know that. So you have to refresh the page, or here you press the red button. Yeah. Okay, so there's a red button is for syncing. Got it. I actually hadn't I hadn't seen that before.
Okay. They had a question box. I would add that, making it dynamic. But
right. So one of the features of Hypotheses that I think is really cool is that once somebody annotates something, though, you can actually engage in a conversation with them. Pretty much in the same way that you would open a thread on Facebook or on Twitter or on YouTube or in a WordPress comment section. It's the same concept. To do so, you would hit the reply button here. So what I want you to do now as an exercise, since I'm going to delete this whole thread, is I want you just to reply something to my own comment here by hitting the reply button, just so that you start, practicing already this kind of conversation back and forth. It's already asking me to so there it is. Reason for being could work. I could see that. So NJ Ham and Angel, are you thinking that you agree that reason for being is something, or that?
See, that's confusing now, because I responded to Alex, but then by the time you refreshed, Kayama had posted. So is there a way then to kind of see the threads in terms of time what's earlier. Oh, yes, you
Yeah,
can
you
actually
can.
see. Mhm.
But what I want you to do now is edit your own comment to clarify what you meant, which you can do by hitting the pencil button right here, which is a good practice too. If you want to edit your own comment, you can edit by, I got Dr. Stever in there already. What is this little flag? I don't think I've ever used flag. Let me flag Kayama. Report this annotation to moderators. Okay, so no, I won't. No, I'm not that kind of cop. I will not report you to the moderators.
That's one for me. When we were using this in our class this past semester, that was another thing for the suggestion box. There is no way I wanted to show students that I liked a comment, social media style. It's not really an option here. So I ended up flagging a bunch of our students, alarmingly.
You really can only like something by replying, by essentially engaging with it, right? Effectively.
I hear a little obtuser there, like an interpolation there in the. All right. So, okay. So the other button I wanted to show you is that you can actually share something I discovered today. That you can actually share a particular specific comment. This hitting the share button will create this unique link just for that comment. And then I shared this comment on Twitter with Kayama. This other comment, my first comment below, I shared it with Kayama on Twitter. It also apparently just lets you right away just link your Twitter and Facebook account. I think that's overkill. Just copying and pasting this link should work, and using it on any medium that you want to share the comment with.
I also remember finding that very useful because sometimes you want to deal with multiple other annotations in your own annotation.
So you can refer back. That's a good one. So you can refer back to an annotation above.
Exactly.
From another place in the text.
By linking to it, because so I guess in one or two cases I wanted to mention that somewhere else someone was talking about X, Y, or Z. Anyway, so just you can use that link to kind of interface the discussion.
That's a pretty cool one. I like that. And finally, you can delete it, which I won't do right away because I wanted to show you that there are also layers of privacy that you can have in your comments. We're using public. It's a risk. If we see something offensive or anything like that, we'll respond to it. But this kind of exercise is actually successful in as much as it invites all of us into it, right? So hold on. Clicking on the public link actually does not take you to the thing where you choose how to make a comment or not. So once a comment is made, that's important to know. Once a comment is made, you cannot change the sort of privacy setting on it. You would have to redo the comment here. But anyways, let me show you how to let me delete this one and show you how to make a comment in a different kind of setting. So I'm going to annotate this, but I'm going to annotate this as a note for myself. So this is important for you to understand that this is also a tool that you can use for your own personal research as you navigate the internet to annotate things for you, like your own readings of text. You don't want to share it with the world. This is just part of your research process. I'm going to create a note here just that I can see about the word pointlessness is definitely Cesar is black pilling here. For those of you who don't know, internet is slang. A black pill is kind of like doomer. This is the new generation of doomers who think that nothing is going to work, everything is going to be bad. Anyways, so I post that to myself. It's not an appropriate comment, so I don't want anybody to see it. I just posted it to myself, and there it is. Only me can see it.
Alex, this is Chelsea. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
You created that group for yourself. You've already used it, but if we haven't, we'd have to make our own private account. Like I only see public under my dropdown.
Yeah, you can create a new private group.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and this also works for creating like a private group for like a class. Like this is like me and Kayama's group for our class this semester was FF Fall 20. And TCD Fall A 2020. FF was another class. TCD Fall A 2020, it's only me and Kayama could see and the students could see the annotations. This is very useful when you don't want the world to see student work, but you still want students to engage with each other.
This is Kelly. Chelsea, I see an only me on my drop down.
Interesting.
I see public and I see only me with a little lock next to it. I don't know how.
I'm having the same experience as Chelsea. I don't see.
Yeah, I only had me, but then I just made a CB Steber private and I refreshed it and it's there. But yeah, I didn't have a lock and only me.
I think I created one. Look, I don't remember. I've been using this forever. So, but I think I did create this like the same way that you just did, Chelsea, which is just like my name and like private. But I'm surprised that Kelly, that you're seeing that one with only me. Is there any way? No.
I have no idea how it happened. It's special.
No, look, mine is a group. Look, leave group. See?
I don't have it either.
It's a group that I created. Like I can view my group activity, right? And copy the invite link. Like I can invite you to my private group. That's so weird. Let me see, account settings, maybe.
It's okay. I don't know how I did it. I just wanted to tell other people that it was available, but apparently it's not.
Yeah, it might be in the account settings. I'll go check later. But anyway, so continuing here. So now, once there's a bunch of annotations, and actually, let me switch back to the group. Notice that I'm just looking at groups for at El Otro Alex private notes right now, so that all the public ones kind of disappeared from my view, right? I'm going back to public so I can see the sort of our event annotation. So now let's talk about the different ways to navigate here. Basically, as you scroll down, you will notice that there is a number here on the right side. That number actually tells you how many notes are above, how many notes are in this page. Look at how the arrow either points up, down, or to the side. So these tells you that there are 3 notes above, 1 note right here, 1 note right here, and 6 to the bottom. As you keep scrolling down, this actually, this little interface will change. You can actually make them invisible in the group by highlighting by clicking on the eye, on the big eye. This just makes allows you to go back to the text and just read it without the sort of like the annotations in your face. Since I'm here in this interface, this little note right here, I think is for page notes. Now, let me explain what a page note is. A page note is a comment you're making about the whole poem in this case. A page note is not about any specific passage that you highlight. A page note exists at the meta level. Kayama apparently already left a page note that I have not read. This is synchronous online event. It's an opportunity for a community of scholars to engage differently. Oh, it explains what the exercise is. I'm hoping that somebody has the courage at some point to have an opinion about the whole poem. I will not. I have been in Cesare studies long enough to know that I'm staying away from this, but you guys are welcome, more than welcome to make an opinion about the whole poem. All right. So far, any questions? Because that's about it, mostly. I will talk on a little bit of details, but this is the interface. This is the tool. It is that simple. It really is that simple.
Alex, Michelle here. Could you show us again how to create a page note?
Yeah, you can create,
I
just
missed
hit
that
this
one
little
step.
sticky note right here.
Okay, great.
It says new page note, or that's one way to do it. The other way to do it, I think the other way to do it is to go to page notes here, and no, never mind. Yeah, that is the way to do it. There's only one way, which is to create this little sticky note.
Okay.
The little sticky note.
Alex, this is Chelsea. I just have a question about making, like, I imagine this is going to get noted up and noted up again and again, which is amazing, but the highlighting is getting a little challenging. Like something's already noted and I want to just highlight a term in something that's already been flagged. Is there a way to do that without, because, you know, it might be of a different nature or a different, oh, I can't, let me try again.
So keep the button pressed. So for example,
Yes, it's that simple. Thanks.
exceeded by, sorry, annotate. Dépassé is an extremely difficult word to translate. It implies missing out on, exceeded by, passed by, and a few other things. Any ideas? So now you will see that there's a more intense yellow. And if I actually click on it, both annotations will show up.
Awesome.
Although we could encourage, for example, the people to not select like 3 paragraphs to make it, to leave room for others visually. It's not functionally. Functionally, there is room, but visually, it could probably be a challenge to people. Like, yeah. Okay, so here are a couple of things that are good pro tips for you to, like, if you wanted to create, if you wanted to annotate any page, let me use the French one, for example. No, this is my edition of let me, so if I wanted to annotate the French one, for example, by Cora, say I didn't have the link that already has the via hypothesis. There's 2 ways to do this. You copy the link. Notice the hypothesis layer is not here. So I can go to via hypothesis directly to the website via hypothesis. And I can just paste the link there. And when I hit go, it's actually quite silly. All it does is actually just add then the link to the top. So the other way of doing it is simply to just go ahead and add it yourself. And then that's the link that would take me to the text. And now with the hype, somebody started annotating the French.
Oh, I have to see that.
It's referring to the statue of Josephine de Beauharnais. Me and Kayama also commented on this picture on the English one.
So this would be maybe a good reason to, like, we could interlink them with the links, you know?
Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to, in fact, actually, Angel, you want to do that as an exercise? Homework, hashtag.
You can do it, Angel.
Alex?
Yeah.
I have a question. Is there a way for me to see only my annotations? This is Kelly asking.
Yeah, hit on your name. So for example, it will take you to the like a web interface. It will take you outside of the of this. So if I hit on my name, it will take me to my own user page on Hypothesis, and it would show me all my annotations everywhere on the internet.
Oh, okay.
But if I just wanted to see my annotations on a translation, I just open it here, and look, this is what I have annotated.
So is there a way for me to see all of your annotations?
Yeah, you can hit my name. Like I'm gonna hit Kelly's name. I'm gonna hit Kayama's name, for example, here. And now I can see Kayama's on annotations. These are all Kayama's annotations.
Okay, thanks.
I'm glad you asked that, because I'm somebody who loves to reread what I write, like over and over again, which I should not have made in public. But in the intimacy of our group of 8 people, I can tell you that I just love reading over and over what I write. So
Somehow it doesn't surprise me at all. Actually.
No,
No,
right? Laurent, you know me.
neither me. But the intimacy of the group and the recording.
So I'll just quickly say, since we wrote that piece for you all about the earlier, experiment on musical passage, I found all these tools incredibly useful, because when we wrote that piece, we were constantly referring to examples of annotations, or in some cases we called this up. Anyway, the point is that that ended up, these features ended up being really useful for like going back and kind of interpreting what happened on the hypothesis, because you could, in that article, we were kind of linking to specific annotations to explain, almost like footnotes. So anyway, just adding that dimension to the citation process was kind of nice, that we could sort of cite individual annotations.
Yeah, and your piece, Laurent, if you can put on the chat a link to your piece, that would be great, so that people can read that, or Kayama. It was actually a very important. It was very useful to us, your piece, and we've shared it with people in our announcement. And it was, I think, because of your piece that actually we were inspired to actually make this kind of annotation central to our class this semester. I think we were trying to come up like what are ways that we can do while we're all in doing the Zoom teaching, which is all of us are kind of like estranged by it. We were kind of trying to replicate some of those dynamics in the classroom, and I think reading your piece, it became clear that one of the things we could do is actually do this kind of exercises with our students as part of their weekly assignments. And it was great. The students were engaging with each other around texts, right? Because in the classroom, you like kind of like pick a passage from the text and read from the text. And in this one, it's like you can't do it without doing that. So it's like it was great. I don't know if Kayama had something to say about our experience in the classroom using this tool, but Kayama?
I didn't, except to
Oh,
confirm.
you did.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was definitely, I think the highlight of the semester was figuring out this way to establish community beyond our synchronous moments together in the absence of having like actual live community. And it just made so much sense to do this again. We've been wanting to do this again with Archipelagos for years, and this was such a great opportunity to make it happen for the grown-ups in the room too.
Yeah.
Could I ask one quick follow-up? Just
course.
kind of wrap my mind around. So, Alex, you said that once you add that prefix to the URL, right, it adds this hypothesis layer. So a lot of what you showed us today on the Kahie site is public. If random person somewhere at some point says, oh, let me annotate this, and they actually go to that link on their own outside of this group. So let's say I just happen upon a website I want to annotate and I add that layer. Will I see all the public comments of everybody else who's okay?
So this is Hypothesis is not the only tool for web annotation. These web annotation tools have been around for almost 2 decades now. They were one of the features of Web 2.0 when it became possible to have two-way communication when the dynamic web hit the scene, right? This is the birth of blog, WordPress sites, and Twitter and Facebook and all these things. Also, web annotation came with it, and Hypothesis just happens to be one that is particularly suited for academics. It was built by an offshoot of the group that did Rap Genius. Rap Genius is it's super popular and famous, where people do this kind of annotation exercises publicly around rap lyrics of every popular song that you can imagine. So that has millions of users. But there was a sub-team within Rap Genius that wanted to do this with like serious poetry and this kind of stuff. And they were like more geeks like us. They were like more academic. And they went to the side and they created Hypothesis. And that's why Hypothesis is used by us in the academic community. This is also very well done. But there are many other tools. Now, if you go to New York Times, Washington Post, and sign into any one of these other tools that are used, you will notice that the internet is a trash file. Confirming what you already know. I mean, you will confirm what everybody suspects, that the internet is a trash file. Hopefully, I mean, we're taking a risk here. Hopefully, we will not have defacement of the site by doing it publicly. It's just a risk you have to take. It's a balance between if you did the work where you created a private group and everybody has to sign up ahead of time, we would probably not get that many people annotated, because it's already difficult enough to actually get used to the idea of this web annotation. Like, what is this? Why I'm annotating the web? That's crazy. So
you don't have any moderating capacity. Like there's no kind of supervisory moderator for a hypothesis ever. Okay.
No.
Unless it's a private group, I mean.
No, you can if you have a private group.
No, but I mean in the public realm you don't.
Okay. No. But I happen to also be friends with the Hypothesis people. So I could also call them if
like
something
if there was
happened.
Something really heinous, yeah.
Yes, and I would be like, okay, I know I've never
override.
Asked you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I even teach her too a lot to Columbia University students. Hello.
That's
Not
useful.
everybody has that access, so
That's very useful.
keep in mind.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
in an extreme situation, we could figure something out. But yeah.
Yeah. In an extreme situation, but hopefully it won't happen. In my experience, I mean, so far it has not happened yet. I think Zoom bombing is a thing, but hypothesis bombing, I think, is not popular enough yet.
This is so nerdy. You'd have to really be committed, to do this.
Committed Nazi,
but I feel like I remember, or was this not the case? Is there can you close? Like, can you have a period of time after which you close a hypothesis object, or will it eternally be annotatable?
Public annotation is just done by.
We talked about you could extract it, right? Maybe and save it somehow.
That
okay.
You can do. I can take all the data, all of our data for this week, and I can freeze that in time
and create kind of another thing that's like the frozen version. Okay.
But I could go into your musical passages, for example, right now and add a note 2 years after the fact. Okay, and it like a respond to a comment. There's nothing to something. It's like YouTube, right? It's like it's just open.
Yep. Okay.
I think a good sign of it, the fact that the hypothesis people have not built this kind of moderation into their public side yet. They are flagged for moderators. It's a thing for private groups, I think, so far. It gives me hope. I will write to them and ask them, actually. I should have done that. But anyways, I'm not that worried. Don't worry.
What happens if the site goes down that you are annotating?
The annotations are gone.
Oh.
Unless you save them. And to save them, to be clear, to save them, you have to be a techie. So far. Maybe at some point there will be a little save button at a little export button at the top. But I mean, that's the part. Save, that's what, right? So this is why you got to be a techie, because the way that you save them is a JSON file. Like, what is an average user of the internet gonna do with a JSON file? A JSON file is used in programming to kind of give you this visualization, but the visualization is unique to this interface. So
maybe that's something your people can talk to their people about, Alex, since you got the hookup. See if they're working on that.
Yeah, these kind of folks are not that far from the academy. They're always talking to us. So these are like, they go to digital humanities conferences and hang out, and they present papers on like the work they're doing, and they hear other people's comment in the audience about like, hey, it would be nice to. So this is probably happening. This is probably has come up many times.
So it looks like to me that when I click on my name, I cannot see things that I replied to, only annotations that I made.
Right. On your own page. Yeah.
Right. So then if I make any kind of substantial reply to somebody else's annotation, that is lost to me on my page.
On your individual page outside of the actual page, yes.
Right. Okay.
Can I just add, Angel? I don't know if this is answered already because I've been playing around here and maybe not paying attention, but the question of how to know to whom you're replying, if you're just careful where you click the reply, you can reply up at the top to the original post versus replying to one of the replies, and it will indent it differently. So it's easy to see the distinction between where you're actually replying, if you understand what I mean. So like, I just replied to this Josephine Bonaparte thing of my own. So Alex replied to me, and then someone else replied to Alex, but I've replied to myself separately out of the thread, linking to Greg Pierrot's annotation on the French original.
Yeah, it works with the thread logic like Twitter or YouTube, right? Like depends on whose button you click the reply. Reply will be on everybody's comments. It will create like a tree. Depends on who on who you're replying to.
Yeah.
But let me let me see now. I'm curious about the. Oh, there it is. Let me see the replies.
So I'm going to add his other one to the Singer sewing machine now.
Didonk, is that you, Cora?
Oui, c'est moi.
Yeah, I knew it was you.
Merci les gens, Alex.
No, I just know my people. I know my people. I know, you know, that, yeah, no, because Cesar would have been so upset that they destroyed Victor Solcher's statue. But the kids were like, yeah, decolonize, you know, Victor Solcher. Like, what? I know the Lincoln Monument in Washington, it has its days counted, and it's going to be quite a day.
It's pretty big, though. It's going to be a little more complicated yet. But...
I know, right? All right. So,
Alex, do you want to show folks how to embed video or music? And it's easy, but maybe just to do it.
Sure.
Something from YouTube, for example.
Oh yeah, is there a way to embed sound files? One question.
I doubt it, but let us maybe from SoundCloud, but I doubt it because it's Markdown, not HTML. But let's try.
I went ahead and dropped a YouTube link, and that works. Vimeo doesn't work. And then
YouTube does work.
YouTube works as a link. If you go down, you'll see one of my accounts has a YouTube link in it. And then I did that one with an image where I just pulled the URL of an image and put that in there.
Let me try.
I put a video in from YouTube also.
But when I tried, it didn't work. Because there's a video of the cahier being read at Cesar's. It's on Vimeo. So I just put a link.
Let me try to highlight Mourn. Let me find the first occurrence of Mourn and highlight how that's not necessarily a hillock. In the Caribbean, that's a Mourn, and actually, that's not a good video example. What would be a good video example?
That dude who reads, that's on Vimeo, right? The guy who reads this poem in order to, it starts with a Z, I can never remember his name, in order to make his rocket fly.
Oh yeah, that guy. What's this?
I can never remember the name though.
I have it in my notes somewhere. I have to. I love that guy. Anyway, I just make one and then it erases. But Queen Blanche of Castile. Queen Blanche. Actually, in your same balafon, I'll just respond to your balafon comment.
Yeah, we could like find a exactly find a video of someone playing.
Yeah,
balafon.
because that could be a real one where people can hear. Oh, without the
Yeah,
G.
it's not, although
Yeah.
actually that's okay.
Is that a good one?
I don't know. I've never seen this one before, but
Let's go ahead.
But why not?
Is that the sound?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's the
Okay.
the little xylophone thingy.
Let's share. What we want is the embed. We're gonna try this, folks.
Just so you know, I actually just dropped the link in and it worked.
Yeah, link works. Embedding doesn't work.
Yeah, don't
Embedding
do the
doesn't
embed.
work. Just a link to YouTube works, and then the little YouTube thing.
And I even did it so it would start.
Make it a hyperlink. You have to actually put the link in.
Yeah. So go back just and I actually did it too. I even selected like a minute in the video, which you can do when you get a hyperlink.
Okay, where is it?
It's at the top. It's in response to Kayama's question about film no, sorry, it's not there. It's it is in response to one of her annotations. That's different because I just put in a link because it was Vimeo, but
right.
the further down, keep going. No, not there.
Yep. Sweet.
There we go, yeah. So that's what I did, and I actually did it so that it would be right at the moment where where that is quoted. But all that is just the link with that little share. You can click start at where it picks the moment in the video that you're on.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So it looks like obviously it looks like they built functionality for YouTube because it's so popular.
Yeah.
Let's see if they do SoundCloud for sound, although you would have to upload your own sound file if you want people to hear. So it might just be worth it to just have YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, I think with music, what we found in the other version was with music, it was just easier to find a YouTube video, even if it's a YouTube video just of the song.
So you go to YouTube just so that you want to share your screen and show us how you did it.
Just copy paste the URL.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I really just essentially like I was just thinking.
Like
Yeah.
And then you say start at and then you put 2 minutes, 2:35, and then and then
you just press copy. Well, I think.
Yeah, it added this little t = 155.
Okay, yeah.
And then you just press. So I'm guessing that the link itself, that's how it becomes.
Yeah, you just copy that and then drop it into the.
Yeah.
I mean, I was about to do one, but yeah.
Let me see. It was where is it? Here, and then I'm going to test. Sweet. And it started right there. Let me delete that. Cool. Yeah, I think for time-based media, we should assume that it's YouTube that it does, because it does this just with the link and not an iframe. If it was an iframe, you could pick anything in the world. But if it's a YouTube link, then I think it was just functionality built specifically for YouTube. And it's fine because a lot of most music nowadays has a copy on YouTube anyways. So.
Hey, Alex, I have a question. This is Chelsea. I added an annotation to a passage that Kayama had highlighted on the dancing bear.
Yeah. And
I can't see it double, I don't see the darker highlight. I'm just wondering if it's because it's my annotation.
No, I can see it. We should be able to see it. Where are you?
In the middle, it's the
big one, the Kayama,
yeah.
Where Kayama monopolized three stanzas.
When she made a great comment about the importance of this passage, but just the dancing bear I'd highlighted, and I can't
see it. I can't see it. Oh, that's because. Am I even in the right thing? Yeah. There it is.
Okay.
Where I put exceeded by? I should be able to see yours.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I see it. It's
Oh, you
slightly
do?
darker. If you,
Great.
you the last like 6 words you highlighted or
Yeah.
7 words, yeah, it's visible.
It's maybe just my
light
screen.
yellow and yours is dark yellow.
Perfect. Okay. It's probably just my screen that I can't see it.
I don't see it on my screen.
Interesting.
What are the words?
For a screaming man is not a dancing bear.
Screaming man is not
Have you
dance.
refreshed your page, Alex?
Oh yeah, there it is. It's highlighted.
Okay. Yep. It's just my.
Yeah, I had to sync. I had to sync. Like
You
I
just
pressed the red
refreshed
button.
your page.
Yeah. But there it is.
Alex, we don't all have that red button, by the way. You may have an extension.
It's not there all the time, Kelly. It shows up intermittently. I didn't
Oh.
have it when they were talking about it before, and then something happened and it popped up.
And you got it.
It's only
Okay.
when somebody has already made a comment that it shows up. All right, that's 12:50. I have I have another workshop at 1.
No, you don't. You have a meeting with me and some other people at 1, Alex.
I knew it was there. It is. I was going to go look at my calendar to see what it was.
That's reassuring. Okay.
Are you new?
You know,
Wow, he almost ghosted you. Good thing you were here, Kayama.
You know, every day.
Alex just needs to have an open Zoom channel all the time so people can pop in and tell him what he needs to do next, you know.
Oh my God. You know that it's too bad that it sucks, but there is a tool. AOC was using it the other day. There's a little app that actually resembles like a meeting ground where you hang out and like you can drop in people's videos by walk. It's like an RPG, like you're walking in a space and it's like on that table there is such and such is hanging out, and on this table such and such is hanging out, and you're just walking and you can decide who to go hang out with. It's trying to recreate
It's
the
not
real
Animal
world.
Planet. It's not.
Yeah.
It might be.
But apparently the young people are using this a lot. Like they're like just like if fakes kind of like hanging out like with the contingency of life, right? Like you're just walking in space and you see Laurent and Kayama hanging out over there and you're like, okay.
Got to go over there. Yeah. Oh, funny. That's great. And then can you also like be walking towards someone and then suddenly see who it is and then turn around and like awkwardly walk away? Because
absolutely, you can even do it passive aggressively. Let them see you.
Hey, thanks for doing this, guys. This is great, and helpful
right.
to kind of brainstorm on using it as well. So
I look forward to your actual comments. I am planning to jump in there after today's a crazy day, but tomorrow I have a lot of good pockets and I'm planning to go in there and with all my like unpublished opinions about the poem, this is the place where I'm going to park them.
And so if there's a burner account that we don't know who it is, we know that that's you actually saying all the stuff you really mean to say, right? Is that
everything I always wanted to say about the poem, but I couldn't get it past peer review? It's happening, people.
Have you thought of doing like maybe you already are doing this? I'm sorry, a little concluding Zoom like for people who participated?
Well, that's the event. The Caribbean Digital Humanities Conference is.
Oh, got it. Okay, we'll just do it all then. Okay.
Yeah, we are going to invite everybody to join me, Kayama, and Kelly to talk about the 3 exercises that we did.
Okay, but all 3 together. I didn't know if you were going to do
all 3 together. And I imagine, and Cora, I imagine to see you there. You're going to be in the French one, Cora? Are you going to be commenting on the French?
I'm not sure. J'ai rien décidé de ce point de vue. Qu'est-ce que tu voudrais dire?
No, if you wanted to annotate, if you wanted to drop your comments.
Mais faites-la sur l'original en fait. Et de toute façon, on peut faire le lien entre les deux à travers the share function.
Oui, mais en fait, moi, je vais faire un commentaire de chaque phrase dans l'édition critique. Donc,
oui, c'est vrai, c'est pas juste. Oui, tu vas faire un commentaire sur chaque phrase, donc c'est pas juste si tu aussi. Oui, c'est vrai. Bon. It was nice to see you all. I will see you in the poem this week.
Okay.
Oh, and yeah, if
That's-
everyone has seen,
that's
we
the
have the
quotable.
troubleshooting doc. And if you have any problems during the week, just go on the Google Doc that's in your email. You know, if you have any issues with the hypothesis or anything else, we'll be checking that as well as the site.
Yeah.
Alex,
And I will
that's a
answer
quotable
questions there.
quote. See you in the poem. That needs to be put somewhere.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I know, I love it.
I'm going to passive aggressively show up and then walk away.
That's right.
We'll be like,
Bye,
well, Chelsea
guys.
was here a second ago. She started typing, and then yeah.
Yeah.
He's there.
Watch me
Chelsea's
walk
there.
away. Thanks for
Chelsea,
doing
let's
this, you
go.
guys. I'm
Thank
excited.
you. Good to see you all.
Bye.
Bye.